Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warjack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and we're going to be doing the deck guide on the not Jade druid question mark, which is basically the Jade rogue. I've been brewing this deck up for a long time now. Even before the Knights of the Frozen Throne, I was trying to get this deck to work, and I just couldn't get it to the point where I really liked it. Now with Valero out and the Plague Scientist, and with the meta slowing down, it actually allowed this deck to perform and just overall just be a better deck currently on ladder. And you'll definitely see that whether or not you saw that through our deck testings or not. In this deck guide, I'm sure we're going to crush some of the top tier decks without, that much trouble. I really have faith in this deck, and I believe it can be good. So with that, for those of you who are unfamiliar with how we do our deck guides, I talk about the deck, why I have what I have in the deck for the particular reasons, why I have one of some cards, why I have two of other cards. From there, we go into rank games, ladder specifically. We play ladder. I explain to you kind of what my thought process is, why I do, what cards you're trying to mulligan for in particular matchups, and then how to play that matchup to the fullest potential. And then ideally, we win, 3 or 4 games out of the 3 or 4 we play, and I can show you the strengths and weaknesses of the deck. So without further ado, let's talk about the deck and what we got going on here. So first off, backstabs. This is kind of standard in any rogue deck, very staple-y card. The fact that it costs 0 mana, you do 2 damage, and this deck has combo cards. This card is phenomenal, whether you're comboing this with the Plague Scientist, your Jade Shuriken, your Abyss, your Vile Spine Slayer. I mean, this card is just an absolute staple and is fantastic versus other aggro decks and just in general. Hallucination. So a lot of people really want to put Journey from Below in this deck because I think Death Rattle, N'Zoth, I have to get dead. I gotta get the Journey from Below. The thing is, N'Zoth is already going to bring back a ton of cards. You're going to bring back Misters and Mixtures, Jade Shuriken, or Jade Swarmer, Undercity Huckster, and Aya Blackpaw. More times than not, you're going to be able to Mimic Pod into one of these cards or multiple of these cards, create more of these cards. You also have Shadowcaster in the deck, which makes more of these cards. You also have Valera in the deck, which makes more of these cards. Blood Mage also counts, but it's not really a big Death Rattle you're looking to bring back. So there's more than enough Death Rattles already in the deck. When you N'Zoth, you're most likely going to bring back 4+ minions, most of the time 5, and most of them are Jade, cards. So it's just good. Hallucination, instead of the Journey from Below, allows you to get a card from your opponent's class. Because Rogue doesn't have healing, a lot of the other classes do. So you, most of the time, depending on who you're going against, are looking for taunts, you're looking for healing, or you're looking for card draw. Hallucination does a fantastic job. Plus, it costs 1 mana. It's a great combo active there. There's a lot of 1 and 2 mana cards in this deck that allow you to combo all of your other cards off of. Mistress and Mixture, again, there's no healing in this deck. This all is on Mistress and Mixtures. The one and only, the heal 4 health when it dies Death Rattle card. So against aggro, really important you play this when you've taken damage. A lot of mistakes and a lot of players will play this out on turn 1. If I'm playing against like a priest or like a slower deck, I'll play this on turn 1 because they can play Northshire Cleric and then I can kill it before they can, do big things with it. But if you're playing against like a druid or like a hunter or a warrior, you want to play this card after you've taken damage or by the time you're taking damage, because they'll just kill this first. The healing doesn't do anything, and then they'll attack your face. Swashbuckler. Again, combo activator, and he steals a card from your opponent's class. There's a lot better classes than Rogue right now, in my opinion. You got Druid in particular, which is really powerful, and stealing, a Druid Nourish, Infestation, Ancient of War, just cards in general, and any powerful Druid card is pretty fucking good, right? So, just stealing these particular cards is nice, and it also makes it so your opponent can't really play around particular cards. And you could be like, Rob, why don't you run Patches? There's only 2 pirates in the deck, and then Patches would be number 3, which means 33% of the time you're drawing Patches before Swashbuckler, and this is not a deck you want Patches in because you have no combos with anything else. Blood Mage, this is because your Jade Shuriken and your Abyss and your Backstab all come from they get buffed with Blood Mage. On top of that, she draws you a card, plus she gets Death Rattle. This is a pretty good card. This staple in any deck, it's your single target cheap removal, 2 mana to deal up to 4 damage, Blood Mage, 5 damage. It's just a fantastic card staple in the deck. Jade Shuriken, 2 mana combo. So basically you want this to combo every time you use it. If you can't combo it, you better contemplate, unless you're dying, and if you're gonna die, you want to combo this card because you get to summon the Jade Golem. If you're not summoning Jade Golems, why are you playing a Jade Golem Rogue deck? The fact that it only does 2 damage hurts. It's not as good as a Jade Claws, not as good as a Jade Lightning. So you've got to make up for that in raw skill. And that's what we intend to do. So Jade Shuriken, staple of the deck, very good. Jade Swarmer, again, not as good as the Jade Behemoth, and not as good as a maybe it's as good as a Jade Chieftain. Maybe not. I don't know. It's not the best Jade card, but it's what we got. It's decent due to the fact that it has stealth, which means you can combo, like let's say you play Jade Swarmer, your opponent has a big minion, you can combo your Plague Scientist to give your Jade Swarmer poisonous, and they can't actually kill it because it had stealth. So your Jade Swarmer can turn into a poisonous 1/1 with stealth, which happens a lot, and it's actually pretty good. On top of that, it has stealth due to the fact that you can Shadowcaster it, so you can make sure it lives on the board, so your Shadowcaster gets Jade value, then you actually summon another Jade Swarmer, which makes N'Zoth more powerful. There's quite a few uses for Jade Swarmer. It's not as bad as you make it seem, but it's just not that great because it is a 2-mana 1/1. If you're playing against an aggro deck, maybe they can burst you out. The NDS City Huckster is a 2-mana 2/2 Death Rattle, steal a card from your opponent's deck. Just a good card, very similar to the Swashbuckler. Instead of it being a 1-mana 1/1 that gets you a card right away, it's a 2-mana 2/2 that gets you a card later. Same concept there. Mimic Pod. Before, I actually took these cards out because it was too slow. Now with the meta that slow down, it's perfect. Playing 2 of these guys, no big deal. Like, you know, drawing into a Mimic Pod is great. Most of the time by turn 3, you're not dead unless you're playing an aggro deck. At that point, you would have mulliganed it away anyway. And Mimic Pod into Mistress of Mixtures, Hallucinations, Abysses, Backstab, Jade Shuriken, stuff like that is fantastic. Plague Scientist, we kind of been over this with the Jade Swarmer. This deck lacks AoE. There's actually no Fan of Knives in this deck. There's no form of, you know, your opponent summons a whole bunch of creatures. How do you deal with it? This deck has no deal with it. It's supposed to, this deck is supposed to get on the board on turn 1 or 2 and stay on the board using cheap removal and great cards like Plague Scientist, Invis, and cards like Vile Spine Slayer, and then the Jades to build up over time. So your Plague Scientist allows you to get rid of giant minions that maybe you don't have time to with your Slayer yet, because your Slayer you have to combo on 5 with, so which means you have to have a Backstab or a Coin to go with Slayer on 5. Most of the time you're playing Slayer on turn 6 or 7 when you can combo it with a 1 or 2 mana card, which means Plague Scientist allows you to deal with early on more significant threats that maybe later on that you'd already be dead with and you can't deal with. The Jade Spirit, again, just do Jade generators, very common Jade card. Shadowcaster brings another one to your hand for 1 mana. Depending on the situations, you want to Shadowcaster, Jade Swarmer, Jade Spirit, or Aya. Aya always being the most valuable target, but most of the time Aya dies, especially if the opponent knows you're playing Jade Rogue, or they know they're playing Jade Rogue. They're not going to let cards like Aya live because they know you're going to copy her. So a good opponent won't let Aya live. But maybe you can plan it out, you know, you bait out some AoE or bait out single target remover, then you drop Aya and then you Shadowcaster. But most of the time you can Shadowcaster Jade Spirit, no problem. 1 Shadowcaster instead of 2. A lot of the times I found that like 2 is good, and it's a card that a lot of times you want to have, but the problem is it only works if you have a card on the board that you want to Shadowcaster, and it's very slow. There's already a ton of value in this deck through Valera, N'Zoth, and just all the other cards in the deck that, like, you have to pick and choose where you want your value. If you just go fucking full frontal super value sauce, you're gonna get blown out by our aggro decks or more aggressive decks, right? Like, you have to find the balance between how much value can I have versus how much, you know, aggressive cards or anti-aggressive cards I can have in my deck. And Shadowcaster is one of those cards where you could probably run 2 of them and it'll help you in the control matchup, but it's really, really gonna hurt you in the aggro matchups, like really bad. Like, this is not a card you want in the aggro matchup. So that's why I only have 1 in here. And it's one of the only cards in the deck that in the aggro matchup is worse than the others. Like, let's say we're playing against someone playing aggro and we have a Plague Scientist. Like, it's still going to be able to kill a minion, and it's still a 2/3 body. This is a 5-mana 4/4 that copies a card, and that card that it copies could not have an ability. Like, what happens if you don't have anything on the board? That really sucks. Vile Spine Slayer, I'm not going to really explain this card. This card's just broken. Combo, destroy a minion. That's just broken, man. Aya, this is a staple in any J deck, and it has always been a staple in any J deck. And if you're asking, hey Rob, what do I replace Aya with? You can't replace Aya. She's too fucking good. Like, you can't build a Jade deck without Aya. She's just too broken. She's like one of the core parts of the deck. And you know, if you're looking to play Jade or Jade Shaman, Jade Rogue, Jade Druid, you gotta have this card, 100%. Black Knight, you don't have to have it due to the fact that, you know, it's kind of a tech, so you can change this card out with another Shadowcaster if you really want to, or anti-aggro cards, you want to play Journey from Below, do whatever you want to do with this particular slot. I'm currently playing the Black Knight because taunts and Lich King and everybody's fucking circle jerking the shit out of that card. So I'm just gonna play Black Knight and I'm gonna kill it the second they play, and I'm just gonna ALM all over the place. So with that, Black Knight, good tech right now, but you don't have to have it in the deck. Valera, this is your value card. Most of the time you don't even need her. I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the time you don't even need Valera or N'Zoth to win games. These are just your, like, not even oh shit buttons, but these are just like, oh, the opponent's giving me slightly more issues than what I originally thought. Let me just clean this up with a Valera and play 2 cards per turn. Or I'm going to play a N'Zoth and build a whole board full of Death Rattles, and if they AoE, they're just going to summon more Jade Golems or give me even more value. So it's just like, your opponent, once it gets to the point where your summon Valyrian is off, the game is already over. Like, these cards are too good in regards to value and what they bring to the table. So with that, hopefully that explains the deck and what we've got to offer here. Let's head into some ranked games where I can really show you this deck and show you where it shines, and I don't know, you guys are, you're gonna enjoy it. Alrighty, so heading into our first match here, we are going against a druid, crazy Malagos. I wonder if he's Malagos druid. These are the questions we must ask ourselves. He's probably aggro. He could be Jade too. Either way, I think we keep the Jade Shuriken and that's it. I don't think we keep any of our high roll cards. And by high roll, I mean high cost minions. Not a bad opening hand. Double Jade Shuriken, Undercity Huckster. If he's aggro, it's not too bad. We also have coin, which allows us to coin Jade Shuriken to deal the combo. One of the hardest parts about the Jade Shuriken is to make sure you have the combo activator so you get your Jade count up there. That's one of my favorite cards, though, for sure. I like Jade Claws, Jade Shuriken, even though Jade Claws is obviously much better than the Shuriken, like FFS, but... Evis. Oh, shit, son. That's always a brutal turn. Ay, caramba. I need to save the Slayer for turn 4, so I coin Slayer. This is a brutal start for us. Oh, innervate 1/6, and it's just gonna get bigger every turn. The good thing is it has 1 HP for now. But as we know, Token Druid does tokeny things. And that means it's going to give it more HP, more attack. It's going to buff it. But Slayer don't care. Slayer does what Slayer wants. God, this is just so wrong. You always... If you have a taunt out first, guys. I know this is the Rogue Jade, or Jade Rogue deck guide. But let me give you a little tidbit of info if this actually makes it to our first episode here. If you've got a big taunt creature, and I can't get past it. You always make this fucker poisonous. You know why? Because when I play a card, I could have made a giant Van Cleef right here, and this guy would be fucked. But if he makes a poisonous monster, it's not like I can get through it or kill it very easily unless I had Jade Shuriken, which he doesn't know I have. But it's always wrong. This is just wrong. If he was Taunt Druid, maybe it's right. But this is just wrong. This makes me so sad. So, do we think this is a buff? Because if that's a buff, I want to go coin, Shuriken. But if this isn't a buff, I just want to go Swarmer. And then I'll go coin Slayer. And then I basically do other shit. Because if that's a buff, I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go with my instincts here and I'm going to kill this. I think this is a buff card. I don't think you go balls deep like that if you don't have a buff. Maybe you do. I don't fucking know, man. We can always still draw a backstab and play Slayer on 5, but I think killing 2 minions is better than potentially killing 1 next turn and only developing 1 minion while getting bashed in the face by 2 minions. Druid of the Swarm goes again for taunt. Again, doesn't even go for the poisonous. Like, this is just wrong. This is a rank 5 crazy Malagos coming at me live. Alright, so we go Jade Spirit here, or do we go with the Swarmer Evis? Swarmer Evis doesn't really do too much. We can go with the Swarmer and then Shadowcaster it next turn, but I don't really like that play. I want to get as many minions out as fast as possible. Maybe he ignores the this guy, and we can actually go Shadowcaster on him. That'd be ideal. Fledgling, I'm gonna Abyss that next turn for sure. Okay, so he's giving me some time here. Nice. This guy is giving me time. We are slowly but surely getting back this board. We're only scared of living mana. That's the only top deck he could get that we'd be like, oh shit, son. It's 2 out of, he had 22. So 2 out of 22. Mark is bad, allows him to draw a card, buffs his minion. Pretty annoying. Double, that's just fucking crazy. Are you kidding me, man? Really? Really? You're gonna go double Mark on my ass? And then you just trade retardedly. Oh, feels bad. All right, can we punish this? Can we draw like a hallucination or mistress of mixtures? All right, nice. We get the swash. This is good. I don't want to attack with the Jade Spirit because I want to be able to Shadowcaster that. The real question we ask ourselves is, who is the druid here? Oh man, living mana. Have mercy. This game has no mercy, man. This game truly has no mercy.
The shadows beckon.
Do we just push face, or do we start trading? We can kill 3, and that leaves him with 3, and then he has 5 mana. But if we don't do anything, he only has 2 mana, which means he can't really do too much. So we're gonna be taking 10 damage, 12 damage here. And then next, I think we gotta kill him, man. I don't like it. You gotta do what you gotta do, though. Because he could buff them, and then they just become even more of a hassle. But this way, you know, I don't think we're gonna, like, we don't kill him last turn. He hasn't even drawn patches yet? What a fucking god. At least we know he can't Savage Roar unless he innervates Savage Roar. So there's the power of the wild. So we did have the buff, so I'm glad we made the trades. But Jesus, mother of God, man. Trade, does he trade into Shadowcaster? No. We can make a comeback here. Believe it or not, chat, we can do this. We can do this, chat. I am the druid now. I am the druid now. I know you questioned me, chat, but I am the druid now. I am truly the druid. I am Ultimate Infestation. I am Malfurion. I am all that is good. We are that Jade, N'Zoth, Ramp Infestation, Taunt, Malfurion Druid. I know it's a bit of a tongue biter, guys, but I believe it's the new meta. It's coming. I'm pretty sure even if this deck guide doesn't work out, like let's say I lose this game or lose the next 2 games, this particular game I think is gonna be good. Ah, the token druid, the aggro token druid with the tech of the BGH. The next level plays from this guy. They're truly amazing. I was thinking about spiders there, but I didn't want to get steamrolled over by like a bursty kind of turn. So this is kind of awkward for me right now, chat. So I don't know if I'm supposed to kill, like we can kill the Black Knight, but then these 2 remain. We could Anaconda and just armor up, but then he attacks and this comes down, but that's not really that bad because we have Ultimate Infestation, right? Like I don't care about N'Zoth value in this particular game. I just want to get him on the board. So, do we kill the Black Knight? Sure. We have Ultimate Infestation on 10, so I really don't care if he kills the Anaconda and pulls N'Zoth. Like, it's a 5/7 on board. It's good. The reason I want to kill Black Knight is because we didn't really have a great way to get rid of him. We just Ultimate Infestation. The bird is the word. So our second biggest fear now is the second living mana or a Hydra. So this guy is just going to push face, or is he actually going to try to kill the Anaconda? Okay. We actually could avoid playing the Ultimate Infestation. No, we should not. We should just play this bad boy. We should definitely just play that bad boy. That would be a pretty good rogue card, guys, if you didn't know. Malfurion and the Ultimate Infestation would be really great rogue cards. Jesus. So we just need like one turn where he doesn't have living mana, and then we just fill up the board. Nice. Okay, now we just fill up the board. Innervate. Jade, Behemoth, and Rogue. That's a pretty good Rogue card too, guys. Jesus, mother of God. This game. So the reason I wanted to armor up is to make sure there's no way he ever gets lethal. The Mistress of Mixture helps us just in case, you know, he gets something. Like, it's better just to play this game completely safe and not have to worry about some crazy burst than going off on a limb and getting lethal one turn earlier, but maybe leaving yourself up to some form of, you know, he kills you somehow. What can solve my all? Not exactly the way I believe this deck normally pans out that particular game, but I think I'll take it. I think I'm gonna take that one. I'm just gonna put it in the bank. Shorty, what you drink. Normally we use Plague Scientists and, you know, Jade Swarmers and Backstabs and Shurikens, and we get on the board with Mistress, and then we get like a good Aya, and then Aya brings us back, but, you know. Okay, so we're going to be playing against a Paladin now, so we can assume this is going to be the aggressive Murloc version. There's not a lot of control Paladin out right now, and this is just a great hand in general. I think I'm going to keep everything here. Swashbuckler, Jade Swimmer, and Backstab are all cards that we want in the early game. And the good thing about this deck is it has a lot of early game. Like, if you notice a lot of the control decks right now, or even Jade decks, like they have multiple 10 drops, they have multiple 8 or 9 drops, they've got a lot of 7 drops and 6 drops. Like, this deck is not that heavy. You have a N'Zoth, you've got Valera, and then the rest of your deck is 6 or less. And more so, the bigger portion of your deck is 4 or less. Like, this is like 75% of our deck. So to get like good starts with this deck isn't really that hard, as long as your luck is, you know, average, which we have below average. Last game was crazy. That was like all my RNG for the next 3 years, but I'll take it anyway. Because that was just a cool game. That was just a cool game. So we're hoping to take any form of, I think, healing or AoE. Another 1-drop's not bad. And then he's like, oh, the guy has patches in his hand. It really sucks for him. Little does he know, no patches in my hand. And having 1-drops is actually not bad either, because we're able to combo those cards. So like having 1-drops is better than one might think. Better than one might think. Oh man, Bat, almost, he's rank 1, almost legend. It's nice too. Okay, coin, rock pool. So we did this to play around the Backstab. It's a smart play. It is a smart play. I wish we had coin. We don't. I'm going to go ahead and Mimic Pod now. Holy shit, Captain. So I'm going to go ahead and Backstab, and I'm just going to make this trade now. I want to keep the board as big as I can. Having an invisible dude doesn't do us much when we have multiple invisible dudes. Like, we have a lot of Jades in our hand right now. We're playing a Jade every single turn for the next 4 turns at least. Maybe more so in other turns. So we're just gonna hope that he has like a light turn here in hero powers. If he goes like Rallying Blade, that kind of hurts us. Wicker Flame is slightly annoying because we can't actually get through that really easily. So it's between the double Jade Swarmer or just a Jade Spirit. If we play the Jade Spirit, this guy... Pick a B&B. I think this is the play. So we're gonna summon this dude. We're gonna knock off the Divine Shield so we can't get a trade into the 2/2. And him healing doesn't matter. We're winning this through value. So as long as he doesn't conquer the board like early on, which he hasn't, we're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be just fine. Blessings of King. That's a doozy. That is quite a doozy. Him trading is pretty nice though. Like, I don't know about all this trading. I would have just smashed face. So, that was, quite interesting. So we can go Jubble Swarmer. Because I want to have a 1-drop for the Slayer next turn, but if I play this, he's just going to smack into it. But if I play 2 of these, it's basically having this, right? Or I could go this into this. I don't know, man. Could go Swarmer, Righteous Protector, but that doesn't really ring a bell. I don't really like that a lot. He had a light turn, so I think this is fine. This looks fun. Interesting. Not sure if I attack with these or not. I think it's fine. Because I want them to pop. Them being 1/1s doesn't do me any good. So let's say he gets a field full of murlocs and I have 1/1s that can trade. That's cool and all, but that doesn't actually allow me to win the game. This looks like a dry turn from him. Nice, 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 nice. I actually don't want to pop these guys. It is what it is. I have to. I have to keep Divine Shield on this because he can't summon Murlocs that way. I'm assuming he doesn't run a quality Consecrate, and due to the fact that he does run Finja, he runs a very early game package, and he could run Sunkeeper, but even Sunkeeper doesn't really help him because we have way more creatures than that guy does. So Jade Rogue coming in hot again. They win against two top tier decks right now. I mean, the aggro druid is definitely tier 1, and then Murloc Paladin I would assume is also tier 1. So I mean, we're not doing pretty shabby right now. Granted that the people aren't making the finest of plays, but you know, not every player is a super elite warrior like ourselves. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Alright, another druid. Nothing new here. If he's aggro, we keep Mistress. If he's not, then it's a bad pick, but I'm gonna keep it just in case he's aggro. Oh my god. Double Mistress, man. Alright, let's see what we randomly generate. Not quite as good as before, but you know, it could shape up to be quite the hatchling. Get it? Because he has an egg in front of him that hatches into a 5 attack minion or more. Alright, he's Jade. So, I like the Undercity. The reason being is we're not going to be able to play the minion that this Jade brings out anyway, but if he kills this, this gives us another card that we can then start, you know, figuring out what to do with. So, I don't mind that at all. It's between, I think we're just going to go and put this guy on the board, start planning out what he's going to give us. It's on curve for next turn. Do I ever play the Mistress here? I don't think it's necessarily the worst card in the world to play. Allows the line up. We're going to attack there so we can't get swiped easily. If we trade into there, he just swipes a 2/2 and hero powers and he clears my board. This way, if he swipes and hero powers, at least a minion lives, right? He's going to ramp some more. He's going to summon a dude. KK. So I guess we want to trade... I guess we could trade the Mistress first. I guess we trade everything. But we don't really have to. This is a hard one. We could keep our whole board if we wanted to with a Vis, but I don't think we Avissing, like Avissing a 3/3 doesn't seem like that's the great play. If we smack here and smack face, I mean, he's just gonna heal back up. And I don't want him to be able to hero power down this, so it's best if we just kill everything. So first thing first, let's just attack this and see what we get. Mark of the Wild, does this change anything? Not necessarily. So this trade's here, this trade's here. Megasaur gets played, and that's the extent. We need more Jades, man. We need to be ramping Jades just as much as him, and we're not. Wrathing for 3, then hero power it down. That's fine, whatever. Yo, he's gonna cycle and then wrath it again, swipe it again. What you got? What you got? Got another wrath in there? Chid chid bang bang. I'm not letting this 3/3 live, man. N'Zoth, that doesn't do us anything. Innervating N'Zoth does something. Do we innervate? Do we ever innervate for N'Zoth? I mean, we haven't even really summoned anything. I'd rather ramp, right? But if we ramp, then this is gonna die. Well, depends how we ramp. Because only one Death Rattle card has died here. I would prefer the Mire Keeper. We're gonna hope that he doesn't innervate into Ultimate Infestation here. That's pretty annoying. Him playing a 10 mana card when we're at 5 doesn't give me that warm and cuddly. I know he has Ultimate Infestation in his hand. I would just rather him play it next turn, not this turn. All right, Malfurion off the top. He's gonna summon 2. Well, if he's bad, he'll summon taunts. If he's good, he'll summon spiders. There, summon spiders. He's a good player. He hit that for 1, which is fairly decent as well. All right, so this is gonna go into ramp. This is gonna just go here. There's not really much we can do besides just swing and face. Here comes Ultimate Infestation. Yeah, this game was pretty rough. We didn't draw any Jade Swarmers, no Jade Shurikens, no Jade Spirits, no Aya, no Vile Spines. Not that Vile Spine was that great in this particular game due to the fact that he didn't really play anything yet. Well, yet. I mean, N'Zoth is great and all, but we needed more go-go juice than what we had gotten. Double Mistress is good against the aggro, but not necessarily against this particular Druid deck. Not to say that we still can't make a comeback. Like, if we end up drawing Aya this upcoming turn, maybe we can be in business. Maybe we can shake and bake a little bit, but this is going to be rough. The Undercity's really not cutting it, man. Okay, so we've got 2 wins, and this I think is going to be a loss. We'll play a game after this. I think this is just not the greatest. Valeera next turn wouldn't be bad. That could actually bring us back. Uh-oh. Jade Behemoth as well. Or Jade Behemoth. Uh-oh. I think our Jades are still 1/1s. Oh, Jesus, they are. That is hurtful. That is very hurtful. Got an Ancient of War. Could buy us some time. Maybe. Swipe. Okay. Another Jade Behemoth. I guess if we played Yogg, we could stand a chance. Slayer. It's a little too late for that. It's probably just GG, right? Trade, and that's just face, yeah. Let me hit him with the well played. Good job, you're playing Druid. Especially the perfect, you know, you got the Jade Blossom, got the Malfurion right when you need them. They always seem to draw Malfurion, always before the Infestation. It's like, if you're playing like a Warlock and you're looking for Gul'dan, that motherfucker's never to be seen. Valeera, same way, we never see Valeera. But in Druid, dude, those motherfuckers have Malfurion every time, man. Malfurion's like, all right, let's get this guy to the top of the deck. He's at 7 mana, let's play this guy. And N'Zoth always makes his way to the hand too. This guy loves to be in your hand. All right, we're gonna get rid of everything here. I'm not feeling it. All right, so we have a Jade on 4, which is exciting in comparison to the last game that we had. Priest is normally a matchup that I wouldn't really classify as that difficult for us due to the fact that they're kind of slow, and this deck doesn't prey on slow decks, but this deck has a lot of value in it, and the only way we really lose is there was a Priest game that we had played where the Priest had Yogged, and the Priest actually got a Jade Idol, and it shuffled the Jade Idol, and we had Yeasted prior, and we lost because of that. It was very, very sad. It was so sad, guys. So, Jade Spirit Naya, always great to have. on their particular turn set. Due to the fact that this is priest, like if we were playing against aggro, I might be like, oh shit. But even having just the mistress, the backstab, and the abyss could be enough to lead us into 4 to coin into 6, which is good. So we're actually not going to be coining the spirit. We're going to be coining on 5 into Aya. Alrighty, plans might have just changed. The plans might have just changed because now we can coin on 3, coin on 4, hopefully draw into a decent 3 to 5 mana card because we don't actually have to do anything that drastic on 5. But maybe we still hold into the Jade coin Aya, but then it gives them longer to find his Dragonfire Potion and stuff of that nature. Yeah, I think this is okay. I think we can coin, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. Oh, it's just how much do we value this coin? He just got it wrong. Get fucking wrecked. Get fucking wrecked. So do we trade, do we smash first, then trade, then coin into the Jade Spirit, or do we backstab it? That is the question of the day. Do we backstab this to keep our Mistress of Mixtures alive? I don't think so. I do not think so. And I think I'm gonna coin out the Jade Spirit here. We have a lot of good cards that we can play on 5. Like we've got the Mimic Pods, we've got more Jade Swarmers. He could summon stuff that we might want to like backstab Abyss, and then Hallucination. So like, I don't mind building up the Jades a little bit prior. Plus it gives us time to maybe draw like a Shadowcaster, so we can Shadowcaster the Aya. That's always an option as well. So here we go, we're gonna hit there, we're gonna backstab this. The question is, do we want to take this damage here, or are we going to attack into here? Sinanya, having 1, I mean, do we really want to take 4? I don't really want to take 4. Not as a rogue, man. Not as a rogue. Like, we're not winning this matchup because we save a 1-1 on board. That is not how we win this matchup, let me tell you. Mistress, that's fine. Shadowcaster, that's really good. This is what I was talking about, Shadowcaster Aya, but I kind of want to Shadowcaster a Jade Spirit, if we're going to be honest here. Okay, so let's look at these trades. We obviously want to trade this, and then this goes face. We obviously go face after he's healed for 4, because if we go face and then attack the Mistress, he just heals right back up to 30 instead of being at 28. And the reason I didn't save this Shadowcaster for Aya is the fact that I don't think these guys are going to live. He can Holy Nova right now, or Dragonfire Potion. And then if we Aya, he can Shadow Word Death, and then we're stuck with this Shadowcaster that has no targets. I'd rather guarantee a target than hope, like, let's say we didn't have these down, then I would have waited and not used it on something willy-nilly. But because this is already out here, here comes the Holy Nova. Or Spirit Lash, or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah. So, like, we wouldn't even had Jade Spirits to use. So let's see if I was right. We're gonna go ahead and throw down this Aya. And because our next turn's looking kind of dry, we can finally attack with our weapon, knowing that we're probably gonna re-dagger next turn, so we get 1 extra damage. Not that I think it'll matter too much, but it could in fact be make or break the late game. So if he doesn't Shadow Word Death this, we fucked up. We didn't fuck up, but Shadow Word Pain. That's it. Okay. So we need to play around Dragonfire Potion. So this happens. I think Cabal Courier, right? And then this gets a Vist. We swing face for 5. We Hero Power. Swing face for 1 more. And like I said, I knew we were going to re-dagger. And the reason we Vist this is so Aya can stay intact. We don't want to pop Aya yet. She can still swing in for 5 every turn. And if he Dragonfire Potions, it hurts him more than helps him because it's just going to resummon dudes. That's slightly annoying. Oh. If we dispel this, it actually gets more powerful. Could be like, Rob, that was the wrong order. It was not the wrong order. It was indeed the correct order. Because if we would have Mass Dispelled, it would have turned into a 2-3, and this is just a 2-2. So it would have technically been the same thing. But it felt better that way. Statue, huh? All right, let's see what we can do about this statue, because we can technically kill it, but the problem is with killing it, it's going to kill our own dude. So let's go ahead and hallucination and see if what we can get here. This is where Mass Dispel looks pretty nice. The Alchemist could potentially be pretty good in this particular deck, due to the fact that we have no healing. So if we go Slayer and kill this, either way, I think I'm going to have to double trade. I mean, we could take a risk with this Jade Swarmer, Jade Shuriken, and then Slayer. Oh. I'm a risk kind of guy. Let's fucking do it. I'm a risky kind of guy. Let's get it done. Let's force the Dragonfire. Mimic Pod? From the Shifting Shade. Okay, let's keep track of that card and see what he gets from it. I swear, if that's 2 Dragonfires, be a little tilted. That's not enough. He's gonna go back to 40 health, though. Ooh. So this is where normally N'Zoth or like Valera comes in. We never have to worry about value again. This comes down. All right, let's see what this bad boy, let's see what which one he kills. Okay, I don't think I'd do anything with the Alchemist. I kind of want a Jade Shuriken in his face. Okay. The reason being, if you Dragonfire Potions, we get a 7/7. But now we still get a card to compete with this 8/8. Oh my god. Alright, Mimic Pod, don't do me wrong. Get it right, get it tight. Alright, it done fucked me up. It's probably like the least value card in my deck. Alright, so how do we want to do this? We want to attack, we want to actually backstab this 3/1 and then attack into there, which means we want to attack face with everything else. This gets hit there. This gets hit there. Hopefully this hits like my 2/2. Not my 5/3. That's fine. It was actually correct to go Alchemist and then heal this 5/3 just in case. Brilliant. What do you got for me, man? We got so much juice in the tank, man. We got N'Zoth, we got Valera, we got 2 more Plague Scientists, a Mimic Pod, Greater Healing Potion. Oh my god, that's so much. Geist, I have no more 1 mana spells in my deck, so that doesn't really do you anything. I kind of want to kill this, just to see what we get out of this. Because Potion of Madness can actually take that. Spirit Lash. Yeah, not the best card we could have gotten. I know you guys are like, Rob, why did you take extra damage? The reason being is we can get this 4/5 on the board. I don't care about healing, and I wanted to see what that guy's Death Rattle was going to be, because he can Potion of Madness, trade in my dude, and steal that card and get a rogue card like Vanish, which would fuck me. So I'd rather just pop that 2/2 and get the value down. Raza for the free hero power. I don't think that's going to be enough. That's just not enough. Let's check out the Mimic Pod. Swash. I know we win. I just want to check out what we got. We got a Raza. Alright, cool beans, guys. We went 3-1 with the Jade Rogue. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I really enjoy this deck a lot. It's one of my favorite decks to play, actually. It's just very different, and people have no idea how to play around it accordingly because they don't know how big your Jades can get, and they don't really know how much value you have. Plus, there's a lot of renditions to this deck, so it's hard for them to identify, you know, kind of which minions they should kill and then when, which gives you a little bit of advantage there. So with that, hopefully you've enjoyed the deck. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. I always enjoy reading them. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode, of course. I'm Robert Warshak, and happy whatever the hell day it is.